So this is actually part two of the live stream. All right. Unfortunately, when you are live and someone rings the doorbell, you have to go answer the doorbell. All right. So if you missed part one, go back and watch part one first before you watch this. Okay. So what we were talking about is with whom you should be disputing. First, we went over collectors, charge-offs, and other. Okay. So I have a very, very specific point I want to make about the CFPB because so many people do this incorrectly. I stick to a very strict tactic for using the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. When I go to them, I have multiple rounds of disputes, violations, responses, reports, and complaints. What this means is I normally get what I want because of all the proof and the documentation that I have. What you do not want to do, you don't want to approach them with invalid complaints about menial things just because you didn't pay an account and they reported it. You need to be able to prove that you were violated, and the only way to do this is to put in the footwork. Now, what is this? What are we going over? We are going over the free live crash course. Okay. And again, if you want to see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, head over to my740.com. I am directly live in YouTube, and therefore I could not put up my banner. We are not going to go over all 41 challenges and violations because we would be here for a very long time. If you want to see the original one of this, where I do go over all 41 challenges and give examples, head back into my 2017 videos, possibly 2018, and you will find this, or do a search on my videos and look for the 41 challenges and violations video, and you're going to find it. Okay. But there's a couple of things in here that we do need to talk about, and I am going to go find them. Okay. So one thing that you don't want to do is send out vague general disputes. I am going to show you how to do this the right way. We're going to go over the dispute pyramid and the dispute reason formula, which is the Ajero formula. I have an example right here. I'm going to show you the another format of the dispute pyramid. And then as a bonus, we do have the strategy map. And another bonus, which is why you need to stay, is I'm going to show you how to build your credit up using these 8 steps. Okay. And I'm going to try to fit everything in. There's a lot of information, but again, this is a credit sweep crash course. Okay. So you don't want to be questioning the existence of an account that might be easy to prove. This is why we use the facts. Every single thing that I do has to do with the facts. And when you're writing your disputes, you need to keep it real, keep it simple. We are not saying pursuant to 1681, you did not blah, 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 and therefore you're required to, no. The only time that you do that is when you are attacking the like violations. Okay. And there's certain questions that you should be asking yourself here. Okay, so you're checking for inaccuracies. These aren't all that great. These are not the things that you should be looking at, though. The account number, we don't really care about. Okay, that, oop, there goes my mic. The date that account was established, we don't really care about that either. Or the high balance, or the credit limit, or the terms, frequency of payment, the status. I mean, not even really the balance unless it's blatantly inaccurate, or even the past due. Okay, we're going after the date last paid, the notice of dispute, the date last reported, first day of delinquency, etc. And you're going to understand this when we go over that hierarchy. Okay. And if you are stuck, just as I said in the previous slide, I have over 1,800 videos. If you really want to learn this, then I would suggest investing a little bit of time and just going and figuring this out inside my videos. I give you all of everything. I give you everything, okay? So credit bureaus, 11 FCRA violations: willfully and recklessly reporting false info after being notified of the reporting error and failing to investigate or correct the error, including mixed file, inaccurate date of status or last activity, inaccurate balance, inaccurate remarks. Now, a little bit of a note here: inaccurate date of status or last activity. The credit bureaus actually don't even care about that anymore. As of 2018, things changed. So this is why that is not at the top of the hierarchy anymore. It's like somewhere in the middle after you've already gone after first day delinquency, date last paid, etc. Reinserting or re-reporting a previously deleted item without notifying you in writing within 5 business days of the reinsertion. You would go after this using section 611. Failure to respond to a dispute within 30 days or 45 days if you received your report through free annual credit report. Okay, don't do that. Don't get your report from there. Get it from my free score now. My link is down in the description. Reporting a bankruptcy longer than 10 years from the date of adjudication. We have a couple more. Reporting a paid tax lien longer than 7 years, failing to update or report the status or balance of an account that was included in bankruptcy charged with the zero balance, failing to provide, if requested after verification, the method of verification. Don't even bother with that because they're just going to send you a form response. Reporting a collection or charge off longer than 7 years from the date of status or last activity, and it's actually the date last paid because the date last paid stipulates when the account is naturally going to fall off because that date last active, they change it all the time. Okay. So you don't want to go after that. Failing to notate that an item on your credit report is under dispute. This is the major one. And that is a totally different video. I did a whole workshop on verified as accurate and how to use one law to remove any account. Reporting a record of arrest or conviction longer than 7 years and failing to provide all relevant info to the furnisher when reasonable means to do so are available. What does reasonable means mean, anyways? I don't know. Okay, I really don't know. Ignoring an investigation request, and this is creditors, willfully and recklessly reporting false info to the credit bureaus after being notified of the reporting error and failing to investigate or correct it. Pausing there. Capital One does this all the time. They purposely do not report a limit. And so they basically report your high balance as the limit. And they do this so that they can keep your credit score low so that they can make more money off of you because they can charge higher interest rates. Reporting a charge off account without reference to the date of status or last activity, and failing to report an account disputed by the consumer as disputed to the credit bureaus. You see how we have a couple of things that are the same. Transferring or selling an account to another company without reporting the transfer with a zero balance and or notating the account as transferred, failing to update the status and or balance of an account that was included in bankruptcy, falsely reporting the ownership of an account to a non-liable consumer like your spouse, family member, and withholding account data with intent to negatively affect a consumer's credit report, like the credit limit, balance, and account status. Didn't we just talk about that? Yeah, we did. Failing to delete a hard inquiry that had no permissible purpose. Reporting a new duplicate account after receiving notice of dispute. They do it all the time. And reporting an account with false reference or without reference to the original creditor and the account number. Okay, we're not going to do the quiz, even though the quiz actually teaches you more about this. We're actually going to go on to the next section, which is going to be the way that you should actually dispute. Okay, so let's go check this out. How to repair your credit in 5 steps. Yeah, I make it that simple. Types of accounts. We have collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, public records, and late payments. As you can see, we have 2 sections, factual disputes and regular disputes. And the steps that go with it, and it's going to be yes or no. So for collections, you want to use factual disputes. Hmm. Gee, isn't it the same for charge-offs, bankruptcies, and late payments? Yes, my friend, it is. You do not ever want to use templates. I don't care what anybody says, okay? I've been doing this for 15 years, 10 years of which is documented right here on YouTube. And I have hundreds of videos that show before and after reports of my results, my client results. I have video testimonials. What I do works, and I am an expert in knowing how to utilize these laws. Okay. So when I say something, it's because it's backed up with proof. All right. Credit repair steps. Pull your report using my free score now, not Identity IQ or Smart Credit anymore. Identify all derogatory accounts. Identify 5, count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inaccuracies most likely to remove an account per an account. Write a dispute reason per account using the most likely to delete. We're not using more than one. Write a simple paragraph that you, why you're sending the letter. I call it the why paragraph. Include a ton of laws. That is a no. Say it was identity theft or not mine. That is a no. The others were yeses. Okay. And this is kind of like a workflow here. Okay. So I've disputed I've already submitted a dispute letter to the credit bureaus using factual disputes. If yes, you're going to wait 30 days, pull in a report, and identify the best dispute reason. If no, that's okay. Go to step 1. The next one, I received a response from the bureaus. Great. Looks the same. Pull a new report after 30 days on days from the first letter being sent out and create a new factual dispute. If not, it's not about what they do. It's about what we do. So everything that you need is on the report. We don't care whether they respond. We don't care what they say. We don't care any about that stuff. Okay. If it's on your credit report, then they don't need to respond. Everything that we need is right there. I'm not sure what to do next. Okay, follow step 1. Wait 30 days, pull in your report, send out a factual dispute. And if not, I'm glad that you've been studying. Send out your next round. You see how simple this is? I'm going to make it even easier here. So this is the dispute reason pyramid. And this is basically the same thing. So we're going to move this over, all right? So at the top, we have the things that are going to remove your negative items. They're the most important to use. And this is where you want to start. Okay. And I've made this really, really simple. You're looking for blatant inaccuracies and violations. Something like that would be three different balances, massive violation like a date being re-aged, the date last paid, etc. Now, let's go with our big bangs. That would be date last paid, a monthly payment on a closed account, 90 days late without the 30 or 60, etc. Violation bingo. Now we're going for the violations. Notice of dispute, date last reported being re-aged, etc. Now, we don't want to go after things like the type and the terms and the status. Those don't get accounts removed. Okay. Now, above that line, which is actually a dotted line, looks like a bunch of hyphens, we also have things like first day delinquency and the payment history, other things that you can go after, like the payment history showing charge off, charge off, charge off, charge off. There shouldn't be activity after that account was closed. Okay. Very simple and straightforward. That's going to be in the top of the hierarchy. Below that, you, like I said, you don't want to be disputing the things that are not going to remove the account. So we actually want to reuse one of the big bang disputes, but you can't really do that, right? Because you can't reuse the dispute reason. So what do? We're going to use the evolution line, and I have a whole workshop on this. The evolution line is something that I created, the evolution line method, where we're reusing a dispute once we have changed information. So if they changed the date, now you can redispute it. If they changed 30 to 60 or 30 to 90, or they verified but they didn't put the notice of dispute, whatever, we can redispute whatever that element is, as long as we have that changed information. And now we're going into the dispute funnel. Like I mentioned, there's other things that you can dispute. Date less paid to notice the dispute, date less reported to the payment history, first day delinquency, etc. Okay, so this is what it would look like visually. We're going to start with date last paid, then first day of delinquency, then notice of dispute, then date last reported, then the payment history inaccuracies, the evolution line method, such as the second date of delinquency, evolution line method, notice of dispute entry date, evolution line method, level one dispute. And now we're going to go and talk about success rates. So level one, and this is talking about the pyramid, right? So how effective are the disputes top to bottom? Level one is going to be 60%. So date lost paid, first date of delinquency, notice of dispute violations. So level three, monthly payment on closed accounts, high balance lower than the balance, 30%. Level five, type terms, open date and status, it's only 10%. So when you're disputing, it's extremely important that you utilize the best possible dispute information on your credit report so that you can get these deleted as fast as possible. Here are 6 different rounds, okay? So let's say round 1, we're using date less paid. We would go to on round 2, first day of delinquency, round 3, notice of dispute, round 4, activity after the account was closed, 5, second date of delinquency, and 6, payment history inaccuracies. It's really as simple as that, but when you see it this way, it just makes it a lot easier because every single account is going to have that. So now you know in what order, but the way you dispute, the language is just as important as what you are disputing. And this, my friend, is the easiest formula to use to dispute any negative item type on a credit report, because we're just taking the information from the report and adding it directly into the formula. We're telling them what we are disputing, why it's being disputed, what we want them to do, including the facts. Okay. So delete for inaccuracy, violation, because it is wrong. It needs to be corrected. Because the, choose what you're disputing, the date last paid, the notice of dispute, or other, reports as, and then you're going to include all the supporting information such as balances and or dates. You see how simple that is? This is what it would look like. Okay, so we're going to fill in the blanks here. One of the fastest ways of removing a difficult account is by finding the inaccuracies or the violations in the, what would go here? Would you say that it would be the date last paid, date last reported, or open date? We're going to choose the date last paid. The credit bureaus do everything that they can not to remove your accounts because they are automated, paid to report your accounts, or not in the US. They are paid to report your accounts. You need to understand who the credit bureaus are. They are in the credit reporting business, the data business. They are Literally, their job is to obtain, maintain, and sell your information. So the lower your score within reason, they don't want you in the fours, or maybe possibly the high fives would be kind of as low as they want you to go. They make more money selling your information to the creditors, and the creditors make more money in APRs when you have a lower credit score. So this whole game is set against us, right? So one of the strongest violations that you can catch the credit bureaus in is with the what? Notice a dispute, what signature, or missing contracts. It's the notice of dispute. Okay. So this is what your example dispute reason would look like. Okay. So delete this account for inaccuracy because the date last active is inconsistent. Experian shows 2/13/15, Equifax 5/26/18, and TransUnion 10/3/2021. So you can say delete, remove, update, correct. This is where you're letting them know that outcome requested for the disputed account. You can say account, personal information, inquiry, public record. This is the type of negative or inaccurate item being disputed. Number three, this is just a justifier, the word because, and it changes the way that your request is received and it allows you to explain why something needs to be corrected or why you're telling them what you want them to do. And then number four is the element, date less active, date less paid, comments, notice of dispute, balance, late payment history, high balance, limit, open date, past due, first delinquency, etc. And then number five is the facts. Your dispute, when available, should include the facts taken directly from the credit report. My disputes include not only the facts, but also, as much as possible, credit report pages that prove my claim of inaccuracy or violation. Okay, we are in the bonus section, and this can be a little bit convoluted and difficult to understand. So when I am done with this, I'm going to post the link to this down in the description. Okay. I think the second page. Good. I took the second page off because it did not belong with this. This is where we're disputing the bureaus, the creditors, and the collectors all at the same time. And we're using three different rounds. Actually, technically, four different rounds. So we could go after personal information and then we would wait. We would dispute half of the negative items, dispute the inquiries, then the second half of the negative items for round one. And then we're stagnating to basically become as much of a pain in the ass as possible. Okay. With the creditor, excuse me, the collector, we would go validation of debt round one, set one, and then uh, round one, set two, round one, set three, and then creditors waiting period, because again, you want to dispute the bureaus first, and then we would send round one, and then we have a waiting period, send round two. So when we get to round three, we actually have our violation log, creditor tactics one, creditor tactics two, and then we also have our regular round four disputes, CFPB, and creditor tactics three. So this is a way that you can come at the bureaus, the creditors, and the collectors all within a very short period of time, and not only become the biggest pain in the ass, but basically clog the system and overwhelm it so you fall through the cracks, you get your deletions. Okay. So this is the thing that I promised, which is the credit workflow. You can easily build your credit using these accounts. And these are the same accounts that I built for my husband, and he was able to go from zero credit to getting approved for over $1.5 million in less than 11 months. Okay. So if I could do this for someone, you could do it for yourself, because we're not even talking about anything that's really anything. Okay. So we have this broken down into 8 different steps. Step one, you can apply and add these, apply for and add these while you have negative items: self, credit builder, and chime. Step number two is going to be self unsecured, open sky secured, and then go and get an installment loan at your credit union. Step number three, Capital One unsecured, Credit One unsecured, First Progress secured. Step number four, Indigo unsecured, Discover It unsecured, and get something like Kohl's or Walmart. Okay. But the great thing about Capital One is that they have so many different products that once you get in with them, you can basically get all of their products. Okay. Step number five, Capital One Journey unsecured, Capital One Platinum unsecured, Capital One Quicksilver unsecured. Step number six, Mercury unsecured, Petal unsecured, and Credit One Amex unsecured. The great thing about those three is that once you get one of them, the other two are going to give you the same limit. So if you have 3,000, you're going to have 9,000 between the three of them. Step number seven, now we're going for a vehicle loan, a personal loan, and possibly another vehicle loan, because I mean, we have 5 vehicles. So That's just our personal preference though. Maybe you want just a little vehicle loan, maybe you want a little personal loan, and maybe your thing is more of credit cards or something. So it's all based on what your personal goal is. And then step number 8 is that end goal, whether it is a large personal loan, or a mortgage. Ours was a mortgage. Okay. So this is an easy way to build your credit. And I'm not going to put this down in the description as it is part of what you can access when you join my Telegram channel. And my Telegram channel, it's really, really simple. So you're just going to go to sendme2.co/TW. Sendme2.co/telegram, and you're going to get access to a bunch of exclusive videos and content that I put on here, and I go live inside of here. And I'm just trying to build a community where people want to fix their credit and whatever. But you get access to a bunch of stuff in the pinned comments, such as the 4-page credit sweep cheat sheet. All right. So I think that is it for right now. But if you need help, actually, you want some sort of way to create your disputes, then you're going to want to check out Stealth, which is an app that I created. I am going to have the eOscar code dispute letter module inside of here as well. And this does come with a document editor so that you can edit your quick letters, your in-app letters, and your dispute reasons. Basically, the entire letter that you create, you are able to go and copy and paste it into the editor so that you can create the dispute letter that you want. So quick letters, we have all of these that are built in here. We also have in-app letters that let you choose. Let's say I want to dispute with the bureaus, and then it's going to load a letter such as, let's just say round 2 inquiry dispute. So I would just very simply copy and paste this, copy, paste it down here, and then it's going to show up on the result page so that I can just copy and paste into the editor. Same thing with the dispute reasons. You can choose from over 300 plus dispute reasons, or you can write your own. Let's say you don't want to use mine, you can just paste your own here. This allows you to create a dispute letter in just seconds. Okay. And again, I am including the eOscar code dispute letter module that is inside of Letterfy 180. And if you want to import credit reports, I do have another app. It's called Live Automation. It also has the Facebook group for it, where you are able to import smart credit, import identity IQ credit reports, and it's actually going to create the perfect dispute reason for you. And the eOscar code dispute letter is also in this. And so I mean, look, if you want to spend a ton of time going through my 18 to 1900 videos, learn how to do this yourself, not a problem. And that's why I have all that information there. Otherwise, you can see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you by going to my740.com, or you can text me at 845-481-0780. I will put it down in the comment section, or excuse me, not the comment section, but the comments in the description, so that you can get access to all of my courses and all of my apps, because I did build new apps and courses. And so I retired all the old ones. So you can get access to 15 years worth of content for just a one-time payment of $3.99. Just text me for that. But otherwise, I think I am going to end this now. And I will see you guys later.